What is going on, IF Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about dry fasting. Should you do it? Should you not do it? Is it beneficial for you, or is it just extremely dangerous? Stay tuned. Okay guys, so this topic has been requested multiple times by you guys, by the IF Warrior community, for me to speak about dry fasting. I've avoided talking about this for a while, but I do see that other videos have sprung up, and I do want to go ahead and put my 2 cents in there so you guys can have as many point of views as possible from people who focus and research on fasting every single day. Now, if you're ever going to do something to this extent, I highly 100% recommend that you do it under medical supervision. And that means no, definitely do not just start doing a dry fast out of the blue from your home just simply because you made that decision. No, if you're going to ever do this, I highly recommend you take your days off from work or whatever you're doing, go to a fasting center with medical supervisors. In that scenario would be the best case scenario. So now I'm going to talk about the benefits that come with dry fasting. Yes, there are multiple hacks that come to dry fasting when it comes to weight loss, for example, but you definitely should not be doing dry fasting for the sole purpose of weight loss, or even for the purpose of weight loss. The weight loss should just be a side effect that you don't mind, but it should not be the core reason for why you do a dry fast. Now, reasons why you should do a dry fast are medical reasons. For example, if the doctor recommends for you to do a dry fast, some sort of inflammation, then yes, within the medical supervision and because of this specific ailment, yes. Now, there is a rejuvenation process that also happens with dry fasting because your body is in its highest emergency zone. And the reason why it's in its highest emergency zone, because your body is moving towards death. That's the danger of dry fasting. And this is the reason why I do not advocate for it. If you ask me, if you were to ask me, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, and I always get a lot of flack whenever I go against some sort of a fasting protocol. People for some reason just want me to accept all fasting, regardless of how dangerous it is or how nonsensical it is or how unnecessary it is. They just want me to say I like every single fasting protocol that exists, and that is not the case. That is not true. Dry fasting is extremely dangerous to the point where you can die within 5 days of dry fasting. Some people have died within 4, and some people have died within 3, but many people have died within 5 days of water fasting, and almost no one survives past 9 days of dry fasting. Almost no one. This is because you will have kidney failure. The water will be so washed out of your body that you won't have any water inside your kidneys to keep it running, to keep it functional, and it will fail on you. Now, these are the reasons why people feel that dry fasting is a great thing. People think that dry fasting is a great thing because your cells will destroy all the bad cells in your body, which is why tumors can get eliminated and why inflammation can get eliminated. Your cells will do this because your body is scratching and clawing for some sort of water, and because you're not giving it water, it is creating water. It is literally filtering your entire body, washing out everything that doesn't need to be there to create water. But the water that your body creates is not enough. You still need more water than just that. Your body will, yes, then tackle body fat. Body fat will be tackled without, this is not in conjunction with the insulin dropping. This has nothing to do with that. This is simply your body trying to survive and using a creative method to actually create water out of thin air, if you will, because there's so much hydrogen inside of a body fat cell, and it simply just takes hydrogen to oxygen to create water, what ends up happening is your body mixes the oxygen that you breathe in with the hydrogen from the body fat cell, splices that together, and creates water. But it's not enough water. And your body can only do this and keep you alive within that time frame of about 3 days. After that, you're going into a very, very dangerous territory. People call it a detoxification effect when you do this. And yes, it's a more faster autophagy because your body is forced into that speed of autophagy. And there's two different forms of dry fasting that people do. You can do a soft dry fast, or you can do an absolute dry fast or a hard dry fast, which is you absolutely do not touch water at all. You don't even brush your teeth. You do not even take a shower. Now, the brushing your teeth thing is not as disgusting as you may think because you're not eating anything, and usually you're brushing your teeth because you're cleaning from the dirt of all the foods that you've eaten for the day or in the morning. But because you're not eating, that's not that big of a deal. But you're also not taking showers, which I guess, if it's 3 days, that's not that big of a deal. Personally, I would prefer taking a shower every single day, but that's just me. I know for other people that's not going to be that big of a deal, but the big deal should be the fact that you are walking up to the edge of the cliff and then you are stepping back from it. And if your focus is on weight loss, 100% do not do this. Is not necessary. This is simply because you want to speed something up in a very constricted way to begin with, because even if you speed it up, you can't keep going further with it. You can only do it for 3 days before you're in 100% danger zone. It's not even beneficial for you. The best thing for you to do is to create a process or a scenario for you to be able to do something consistently forever, instead of just using something to lose weight for such a short amount of time. If you're going to fast, please, please, please use water. Hydrate yourself with water. Yes, you want to put your body under some level of stress so that it can react accordingly, but you don't want to do it where you're putting your life at risk. But just because something is beneficial or putting you at a most powerful state of weight loss or autophagy or any of those things, or detoxification, doesn't mean that it is the best scenario for you. Take a cheetah, for example. A cheetah is a perfect example. When a cheetah bursts into its run, it can run up to 70 miles per hour. A cheetah can literally run up to 70 miles per hour. It's the fastest recorded land mammal in the world. However, it could only do it for 4 seconds. A cheetah does not chase an animal for yards and meters and miles. A cheetah simply waits for a perfect moment and then strikes within a short burst. A cheetah's respiratory cycle will range from 60 breaths per minute to 150 breaths per minute, and its body temperature will rise to 105 degrees Fahrenheit, putting it at risk of death due to brain damage. Now, it is at its most powerful state when it is at its top speed of 70 miles per hour. It is clicking on all cylinders. Its heart is beating extremely fast. Its muscles are contracting extremely quickly. Its breaths are really, really quick. It is extremely powerful at that moment, but it is also teetering on the edge of death. And this is how I look at dry fasting. It is undoubtedly the most powerful of all the fasting mechanisms that you can utilize, but it is also teetering on the edge of death. And because that gamble is way too dangerous and way too unpredictable, I do not recommend for anyone to attempt this for the sake of just weight loss. And if it is for a medical reason, then I would ask that you please go to a doctor and fast in a fasting center under medical supervision and by the guise of someone who is in the medical field. You can do 24-hour fast and 48-hour fast while consuming water, and it will still put you in the direction that you need to go for weight loss. But please understand the dangers that come with dry fasting, and understand that it isn't worth it. You can stick to intermittent fasting and you will be fine. Just have a little bit of patience. If there's any specific things that you feel that aren't working for you, please comment in the comment section below. I will try my best to answer those questions for you. There's a reason that there isn't not one medical study on dry fasting. Not one. Because it is universally understood, even in the medical community, even in the scientific community, that this is extremely dangerous. There has been scientific research that shows all of these benefits and how they work, as well as how it starts to transform body fat cells into water using the oxygen that you breathe and mixing it with the hydrogen found inside of your fat. But the game that you're playing in this respect is just a little bit too dangerous. And trust me, I know that I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this video because I'm not backing dry fasting as an intermittent fasting channel. But my number one goal with this channel is to help you guys with intermittent fasting and show you its benefits, to arm you with the most knowledge possible so that you're confident in using intermittent fasting for weight loss and for health. Those are the two key things. It's not just weight loss, it's also health. And when there's something that could put you at risk, I'm always going to put my foot down on that topic. And I want to thank my patrons for my Patreon, and I'm going to put their names right up here.